So I'm not gonna lie. There are many pieces about this lockdown, the great lockdown, our safer at home, staying at home life that I'm getting kind of fed up with, and I hear a lot of other people, right, talking about exactly the same thing. I guess it would come as no surprise, but it just seems to keep going. There is we know it's going to keep going, and it's sort of this ongoing discomfort. Like I was speaking with my grandmother for Mother's Day this morning, and she was talking about how it's going to be another month before the hairdresser comes into the where she lives, and all kinds of other things that we can't do. I will talk about one of mine in just a second, but this is sort of just ongoing monotony and discomfort. This is not something that is just been coming and going as it sort of seemed like, as things like this tend to, right? Like usually by now the news cycle might have moved along, but nope, there's no news cycle to move along. The virus is still here. So it just sort of keeps going. And, it's not like this is someone's fault. It's not like there's someone that we can blame, right? That we can call out and say, oh, all this is somebody's fault. It's not like there's a customer service line that we can go to and be like, hey, this is super messed up. I have been stuck in my house for months and I need to get out. Can you please give me a refund? No, it doesn't work like that. So what can we do? Because nothing changes the fact that I'm feeling cooped up and a little stressed out. And I'm sure that you're feeling cooped up and a little stressed out as well. So what can we do when we can't change anything else? So we will talk about that today. We're going to give 3 tips to break the monotony of the lockdown. So hello, I am Owen. Thank you very much for joining. I always appreciate when you stop by. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to this video. Hit the button below. And on Facebook, please join our group of abundance hackers. I would love to have you there to join the conversation. People finding solutions, creative solutions to look after ourselves and to stay in service of the world around us and the people we want, even when times get really, really tough, which happens to be right now. So I'll put a link here in the chat for you to join that group. We'd love to have you. So let's talk about what's going on today, right? So masks. I am not a fan of wearing my mask. The other day I walked out, I just walked clear outside, and I remember standing outside here in LA. This is my favorite time of year. The weather is amazing. The smell of the flowers coming up and just the way the air feels, smells, sort of the warmth. It's just a wonderful, beautiful time. And so I walk outside and I'm like, there it is. And then I start to remind myself, oh, if I'm enjoying the air, it means I forgot something. It means I'm not wearing my mask. So I needed to go around and turn back home and go and put my mask back on. And even as I walk around these days, sometimes I'll pull it out a bit and be like, wow, I am really missing the smell of the beautiful LA spring. One of the things that I love the most. It's one of my absolute favorite times in the world, anywhere. It's one of the reasons I live here. And I don't really get it in the way I used to because of what's going on. And I kind of resented it at that moment. It was a little normally, I just don't like to put my mask on, but I do it, and I'm happy to do it in this regard because I'm doing my part to look after everybody else, but it doesn't mean I particularly enjoy it. And I know a lot of people really don't. I don't know anybody really who's like, ooh, let me go put on a mask, right? So it's just that. And it's going to be that way for a long time. So I know, that I got to deal with it. At some point, I'm going to have to address this in one way, shape, or form. So it kind of feels like right now to me that we are in this period of a bad dream that just won't end. You keep looking around. I keep looking around sometimes to be like, well, this is just too crazy. And at some point, all things must end, right? All things pass. And this one has just settled in for a very long time. And it just seems like it's kind of a bad dream that just won't end. I mean, normally around this time of year, in an election year, we would have forgotten what happened last week. Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whoever else would have said something stupid, and we'd be all about it, and we would have forgotten completely what the stupid thing one of them said was the week before, as we always do. But we don't have that now to entertain ourselves, right? We don't have something like that to distract ourselves. All we have is just nature and reality of something in science that's out of our control. And if we want to look after ourselves and the people around us and, do our part to stop more people from dying if we can, then this is what it's going to be like. So it's going to be like this, which is a slower life, and it's going to be monotonous and uncomfortable for an extended period of time. So all of this is the bad news, right? This is the terrible stuff that we got to deal with. But the good news is there is stuff that we can all do, and it's stuff that I am doing as well, to adjust how I react to what is going on, to help align myself to the situation, and to just not let it bug me. Just not let it bug me in the way that I might otherwise. So number one, and this has been a tricky one for me lately, and it might be for you too, especially if you're one of those Americans who's been working 3 more hours a day than normal on average lately, but is to meditate. I don't get to it every single day. I try really hard, and I do awesome. I'm great when I meditate every single day. I am less great when I don't. So I highly recommend starting a meditation practice, and you don't have to go crazy with it. 10 minutes a day is fine. I do 20 minutes. It's awesome. I mean, heck, 20 minutes to yourself. What else? We can think of the things that you use 20 minutes for throughout the course of your day. Like I just scrolling through social media sometimes. You can use that time to meditate instead. Meditating has a few benefits to it, and it's not just crazy woo stuff, which it is not, but it gives you a moment to just stop and collect your thoughts, or just stop and let your brain relax for a minute, and to learn what it feels like to actually relax, to learn what it feels like to not have a bunch of thoughts racing through your head all the time. Maybe even also thoughts of, oh my God, what is going on with this situation and when is it going to end? Meditation really helps with a lot of that. And just generally too, I find that it really helps my mood. It helps me, little things don't bother me as much any longer when I have been consistently meditating. I obviously, I hadn't been consistently meditating because I've been getting a little more irked, and I noticed that. And so it's really good to get back into that, and really good to do it if you haven't been doing it. But yeah, meditation is a great way to help you also just discover new ways to think about the world that you're in. So if you're just really having a hard time with this situation, meditation is great. If you need help with that, there's an app. You can get it for free. It's called Calm, C-A-L-M. It's on Android and Apple. You can download that. I use that to get started, and it's awesome. It's great. You got a perfect how to start meditating program. So if you need to get started, I recommend that. The next thing I recommend is keeping a journal. Keeping a written journal of just your thoughts, just every day. It doesn't have to be anything crazy big. You don't have to be writing your memoirs or anything like that. But it's just something to get your thoughts out of your head and onto a piece of paper. Mostly just so that they stop kicking around in there if they are thoughts that are really bugging you about the situation and the monotony of what is going on. And as you write it down, I find this as I write in my journal too, you might discover that there was all this crazy stuff that happened or something exciting happened that you sort of almost even glossed over in the process of living your life and going through it. So I like keeping a journal. And plus also too, when every day starts to feel the same for me, I like to flip back in the pages a bit and realize, wow, a lot has actually happened in the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of days. And I'm just sort of not noticing it because I'm just in it every single day. So that's really good. Keeping a journal is really helpful for that. And then if you are worried, if you are upset with the monotony, then it is time to get connected in with your passion. It is time to start putting some energy behind something that really gets you going. We're finding out what that is. Take an hour out of your day every day. Maybe you can get up an hour earlier. If you're feeling like you're stuck in this routine, get up an hour earlier. And then use this time to to engage with your passion, to spend this time moving it forward, building it, connecting with it more deeply, or discovering what your passion might even be. And once you get connected with your passion, you're doing something with your passion, monotony is just going to fall away. Life isn't going to seem boring at all. So if you need help getting in touch with your passion, or you just need a guide, or the monotony is just getting to you and you would like a little lift out of it into better mind space, then please go right now to owenjward.com, and right there on that page, just tell me where to send it, and I will send you your free copy of How to Unlock and Unleash Your Superpower, your guide to go from scarcity to abundance. So tell me how you're doing. I hope that you are able to break out of the monotony. We are all in this together. I am in it right there with you. Tell me how you're doing. I'd love to hear. Thank you as always for stopping by, and I will talk to you tomorrow.